The strategic role of financial management is basically a fancy way of saying what does the finance department do? What is financial management? And the syllabus subheadings are what the tasks are involved, the day-to-day, and then the longer-term role of financial management. So looking at the tasks involved, if you had to tell someone what financial management is, these are the things you would say. What they do is they maintain and they report financial information. So things like balance sheets and income statements, they maintain those and then they report them as required to the stakeholders and to the tax department and whoever really needs to know. The second thing they do is they forecast the business's future finances. And this is important because they need to be able to know things like which months they're going to have cash flow problems, etc., etc. The third thing that they do is they distribute or they give out funds to different parts of the business. And they have to do this in a really timely way to make sure that people get paid, like suppliers, employees, and it's very important that those people do get paid, otherwise the business isn't going to function. And the fourth thing is that they have to source or get funds when they're needed. So if operations need money for new equipment, it's the finance department's job to try and get those funds. Whether they have to, get it from equity or get it from debt, it's their job to get it the best way possible and the cheapest way possible and the most effective way possible for whatever they need the money for. For the day-to-day role of financial manager, what does a financial manager do, every day? The main three things, and these aren't in any particular order, but the main three things they do is they release funds when needed. So if it comes to paying employees, the HR department, employees are generally not going to be happy if they haven't gotten paid on the day that they're supposed to get paid. So they have to release the funds when needed. They have to follow all laws. So they have to make sure that they're complying with anything that the tax department says, anything that ASIC says. They need to follow all the laws, or the entire business can get shut down, and the financial managers can actually go to jail. And the third thing they need to do is they need to manage transactions. So things like checks and stuff like that in the old system. But day-to-day transactions that the business needs to do, they don't want these things to not work. It's a highly embarrassing thing for the business, for the operations department especially, if the finance department doesn't get their act together and make sure that the transactions go smoothly. For the longer term, though, there's this longer term role of financial management. The whole idea of financial management is to make sure that you maintain low levels of debt, not zero debt, because businesses don't run like that. They don't work like that. Zero debt isn't necessarily a good thing for a business. So maintaining low levels of debt, but still allowing for the growth of the business. So they still allow for the owners to say, you know what, we want to expand, we want to do this, we want to do that, and they need to be able to leave all options open for the owners. So, for example, if the owners decide they want to issue shares sometime in the future and change the structure of the business, the finance department has to make sure that that can happen in the future by not getting the business into so much debt that nobody wants to buy the shares in it. So that's the strategic role. What does the finance department actually do? What do financial managers do? That's the strategic role.